Today is Hiimmary's birthday. Since it's a bit of a momentous occasion, I thought I'd show you a little something. I figured I'd keep it kind of low-key. A lot of people have been asking me a lot about my process, and I figured, why don't I just show you? In the summer of 2016, I was getting out of my freshman year of college feeling particularly creatively invigorated. I deemed that summer to be it's okay, it's kind of cringe, the hashtag summer of things, in which I would do creative stuff the entire time, multiple creative projects. I didn't end up doing loads of creative projects, but I did do one important one. This journal ended up becoming my entire planning guide to Hiimmarymary. This thing was my Bible the entire time. So I thought, why not I give you a little tour? So right off the bat, I just started brainstorming. I had a really, really rough idea and a few images in my head, so you can see I did a lot of brainstorming. I had already done a bunch on the computer, so I was like, I'm just gonna, print this all out and stick it in here. So we have a lot of stuff right off the bat. Just spitballing ideas. What are each of the enemies? What are the monsters? I wanted to have a website, kind of coming up with rough ideas, what I want her to wear, just a general plot line. I don't know why I gave this placeholder name. I don't even know what Succotash is. A temporary name for the boss monster was the boss monster. I spoiled it, and the other one was Queen Bitch. We have Mary, Boss Ghost, Mirror Ghost. I called it the Shadow Thing at the time. The Crawling Darkness I called the Creepers. The name changed really frequently. The place, I hadn't called it the Garden quite yet. I threw around a lot of concepts, kind of trying to figure out what themes I wanted to say, some key moments I wanted to depict, and I did some sketches. You can see coming up with the voice for the Veiled Woman. Anyone recognize Acres from Soma? Just kind of coming up with ideas for the masks. Mary, I really don't have a good grasp of anatomy. And then some real skeleton plotting of what I wanted the video. So you can see I have 1 through 11 here. I initially did 1 through 10 here, and then later on I came back and I did 11 through 19. Back before I made the blog, I initially wanted to do a website. The thing I didn't plan for was that I don't really know how to do a website. I knew how to use Dreamweaver, but the actual publishing part was the part that I didn't really grasp very well. So once I realized that I could do the same things I wanted to do in a blogspot, that's when I moved to the blogspot. I even was blocking out some of the big scares I wanted to have in the videos. Things that were favorite things from horror movies I liked, things I wanted to take inspiration from, and then things that just scared me in my daily life, and so I wanted to make them into scares in Hiimmarymary. And then once I felt ready to go, I started making shot lists. I think if you were to pause, you would find most of these match up to the original video. I had started to come up with a few codes in case I wanted to use them. I did use a code in The Darkness Moves. I do kind of regret using it. But it was still fun to come up with. Here's the shot list for the second video, shot list for the third video. Basically my process after this point, once I was in production, was to create these shot lists after doing a little bit of initial brainstorming, shoot them, and edit everything afterwards. That was just how I approached it, and then once it came time to make the next video, I do the same thing over again. Then this is the shot list for the 5th video. And then you can see on the right here is where I started to plot out the second arc. I separated Hiimmarymary out into 4 arcs, pretty much. The first 5 videos were the first. Pretty sure the next 5 were the second. Following 5-ish were the third, and the last few videos were the 4th. There's just continued planning for that. And the shot list for the 6th video. I established my goals for the Sleepwalker video, and then I created the shot list for it. I think what's best for me is to get all my ideas out on paper before I start working, because it just helps me organize everything I'm thinking about so that I avoid forgetting something or doing too much of one thing or doing too little of another, and just so I can keep the whole thing succinct. And more shot lists. Do Not Touch was a bit of a difficult video to plan for, so you can see there's less shot lists here and a lot more just rough goals, and then I would just run around with the camera a few times and just hope for the best and cut things together. I have a shot list, but when it came time to do the parts where Mary was running around yelling at the crawling darkness, things got a little less specific. Like you can see, chases it, finally sees it at the end of the hall. When I wanted to do the Mary hallucination bit at the end, I didn't actually block it out. I just spitballed some rough ideas for what I wanted, and then I shot a bunch of different things and just cut together what I liked best. I was already starting to think about what I wanted for the Mary ending here. You can see on 2 separate occasions, you can tell with the pencil and the pen, I started to kind of get some ideas out. I wrote out a script for video 11 because it was so dialogue heavy. I am not very good at improv, so I worked with my friend to kind of know what lines needed to be said when, how I wanted things to work, and sometimes I would just quietly say or whisper dialogue for as long as I knew it needed to be, and then dub it in afterwards. God, this pencil is light, I'm sorry. Planning out for video 12. Video 13 was extremely easy, if you remember correctly. When I revealed the presence of the blog, I had been working on that for quite a while, and I had it all ready to go, and so I didn't actually write a shot list, because if you remember, video 13 is pretty much entirely text on screen. I started to block out snippets of recordings. You can see Mary, Liz, another recording, also some additional pieces of Mary's collection are kind of written out here. I just randomly got an idea for another video and jotted it down. Started to do a shot list for video 14, and there is the shot list for video 15. I had already started blocking out some rough ideas that I wanted for the climax and the epilogue, and wanted to get those out before I forgot them. Usually it was I would get an idea and I would write it down so it wouldn't be lost forever. Some dialogue options. Started to plan things out for video 17, and there is the shot list. I wrote down Mary Teeth. Is this the teeth video? I think this might be the teeth video. Yeah, it's the teeth video. More climax planning on the page on the right here. The climax didn't have a proper shot list until later on. If you recall, I talked about it on Twitter a while back. When it came time to do the last few videos, it was the spring of 2020. In order to get my button gear, I created another massive planning document, which I'm pretty sure I linked on Twitter. I'll throw the link in the description. That basically blocked out every single thing I needed to do. Shoot something, edit something for every single subsection of the final videos I needed. So a lot of my planning moved to that document just because I needed to type it up. Yeah, and there's the final video. And I wrote out the final shot. Mary stands in front of the door, about to leave. Each character temporarily flashes in her place. She goes to leave, then remembers to grab the camera, goes to chastise herself, but stops, baby steps. She holds camera up and looks at audience, says goodbye, and smiles. If you're asking, are you going to put sunken in here? No, it is already in like 5 different Google Docs. I'm sorry, but maybe I can show that to you another time. I hope you enjoyed this little look behind the scenes. Subscribe to my channel if you want to see more stuff. There'll be more sunken updates soon, I promise. And happy birthday, Hiimmarymary. Have fun, be safe, and I'll see you all very soon.